Fargo, North Dakota, home to the biggest wrestling tournament in the history of the world. With over 7,000 pre-registrations this year, no wrestling tournament even comes close to its magnitude. I've actually never been to Fargo, but I've heard stories. It's packed, it's sweaty, it's in the middle of nowhere, but most of all, it's long. I mean, this tournament is just non-stop action for like 6 days straight. And then I found out that I had to go. Was I scared of what I was about to walk into? Yes, but that's why I'm making this series, so no one ever has to wonder what Fargo is actually like based off stories again. I'm going to be exploring this tournament and showing you just what it looks like through the eyes of a newcomer. Hopefully by the end of this, we'll be able to bust any Fargo myths and get to the bottom of what makes this tournament so truly special that thousands of people are willing to travel all across the country to the same tournament every year. Day 2 and I'm excited because today's the day I get to experience my first Fargo finals. The U16 girls finals were set for 1:30 and I had to be there to film them, but I ran into a bit of a roadblock. My coworkers headed to the Fargo Dome early while I stayed back at the hotel to finish editing yesterday's episode. The only problem is when I tried to call an Uber to the Fargo Dome, they were always 20 minutes away and then they would end up canceling on me. I began to get nervous. Was I about to miss my first ever Fargo finals? Then I started thinking to myself, hey, wait a second, this could be a really cool opportunity to get to know another Fargo competitor. At least that's how I tried to justify it to myself as I started to approach a random family to ask if I could hitchhike with them. I had to think of a way to get them to trust me right away, so they wouldn't think that I was just a random kid looking for a ride. Luckily, I had the perfect line ready.
Excuse me? Are you going to the Fargo Dome by chance? Would you guys maybe want to be in a FloWrestling video? So the catch is, I called an Uber and it's not showing up. Yeah. Would you guys maybe be able to give me a ride?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it actually worked. We have a ride. I'm not gonna miss the finals. This is Jake and Jolie Slider, and they were gracious enough to give me a ride to the Fargo Dome. I didn't know it at the time, but Jolie was actually a Fargo finalist. She was the first match I was gonna film once I got to the Dome, so I ended up picking the perfect family to hitchhike with. When I asked them for the ride, I thought it was just Jolie and her dad, and that they would have plenty of space for me. But a few minutes later, I found out that I was riding with the whole family. These guys are actually awesome. If I was traveling across the country with 4 kids in my backseat, the last thing I would want is the added headache of a random 23-year-old hitchhiking with you. But I really think that just shows how awesome the wrestling community is. And I thought this would be a really cool opportunity to get to know Jolie, her family, and learn a little bit more about Fargo.
What's this guy's name?
Bo.
His first time in Fargo?
Yes.
Second.
No, second.
Second. Is this your first time in Fargo?
No, this is my second year.
Second? What was it like the first time?
It was very nerve-wracking.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why?
It's just different from anything I've ever been to or experienced.
Did you hear stories about Fargo before you got there? And were you nervous?
Yeah, I heard a lot that it was just like a completely different environment, how many people were there. And
Yeah. Did you guys drive here or did you fly?
We drove.
Drove? How far is that drive?
18 hours.
What's it like being parents at Fargo? Is it chaotic?
Yeah, it is a little bit. Trying to get a good view of the mat and nerve-wracking.
You know, your child's worked so hard just kind of for this moment, especially all summer, and devoting it. Sometimes it goes your way and sometimes it doesn't. This time it's going our way.
Yeah?
For right now, yeah, we're in the finals.
You're in the finals?
Yeah.
Wow. Congrats. I picked the right
Thank
car to
you.
get it. Oh my gosh. Have you wrestled on that big stage before?
Yes, I wrestled during my quarters.
Really?
It was scary, but once I got up there, it was fine.
Are you guys competing or you just here for fun?
We're just
here for fun.
Yeah? This is like a whole family occasion, huh?
Yeah.
I appreciate you guys letting me cram in the car with you.
Except for our 18-year-old sister.
Oh, you got your 18-year-old sisters in here?
Yeah, she had work.
Yeah, and in the one day, our sister had to watch the chickens.
Oh,
They
really?
escaped.
What's wrestling like in Idaho?
We sanctioned it finally this year,
Really?
and it blew up a ton. I've always had to wrestle boys.
You've always had to wrestle boys?
Yeah,
Have you beat any boys?
I have.
Beat all the boys
Yeah.
in our area.
All the boys in your area?
Yeah.
I was the varsity 98 this year for the boys team.
Really?
Yeah.
So, and you were winning?
Yeah, I had a pretty good season there.
This is the kind of thing that could have only happened at Fargo, where there's so many wrestlers in town that I knew someone from my hotel would be going to the same place as me.
Thank you, Slider family.
Yep.
You're
Nice to
amazing.
meet you.
Now, it was time for my very first Fargo finals experience. The finals definitely surpassed my expectations. I don't know why, but I thought they would just be taking place on the big stage while a bunch of other matches were going on around them. No. All eyes were on the placement matches while the rest of the mats were completely empty. The whole room was even dark and they had spotlights highlighting each match. All the focus was on these athletes who had worked all summer for their big moment. There were cameras, there was action, there were rubber chickens falling from the sky, apparently, and staying on the mat for an uncomfortably long amount of time. I couldn't help but feel a little bit jealous of them. It really does seem like an amazing experience. All the finalists lined up and shook each other's hands, and then we got right into the matches. Every finalist gets to do a cool walkout through smoke while they get their name announced, and I had a pretty sweet spot right behind the Flow commentators. If you ever happen to place at Fargo, once your match is over, you'll walk behind the stage and you'll go to the podium, where this guy, who's not standing on that ladder in a sketchy way at all, will take your picture. Overall, I was really impressed with the production quality of this event. It seems like they do a really good job of making these wrestlers feel special. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. That's the end of today's exploring, but be on the lookout for tomorrow's video, where I finally explore the famed Fargo black markets.